everybody, and welcome to another Pitch Perfect Live. I am your host and coach, Nikki Willis. And every Tuesday, we come on here. I work with a brand new business leader every week, and we help tweak their pitch, make sure that it's landing, making sure that clients and investors, once they hear that pitch, are leaning in saying, how can I get your product? How can I get your service? All right. And I have been working with small businesses for over 8 years now. I absolutely love it. And there is a trick to it. All right. I also have been on stages for over 20 years. And I have combined those two things that I absolutely love. And I host Pitch Perfect Live. Now, guys, we have been doing this for, oh my gosh, I think it's 19 weeks now, which is super awesome. Oh, yay. Okay, Jamar, you are in. I want to, let me see, I'm going to copy the link for you. And you should go into the email that I just sent you at 6. Let me see. Yeah, it should have sent. And click on that. And that should be the live link that you join me on. And let me know if you didn't get it. But yeah, go back to your email and then that live link or your meeting notice, because I send it a few different ways. Okay. All right. Now, while we are waiting on our guest, let me know how your Easter went. What did you do? Did you go Easter egg hunting? Did you make a large meal? All the things. We had 8 services over the weekend, so I was pretty busy. But I absolutely love what I do. I am a Jesus girl. So every now and then, honey, I will talk about what I do at church and just talk about being a believer and a follower of Jesus. And that is just a little bit about me. I am definitely a Jesus girl. And I get to do communications sometimes at the church, hosting or making announcements and things like that. So I absolutely love doing that. And it helps me hone in my skill. Ooh, okay, y'all. Here we go. We've got Jamar Root coming on live with us. All right, y'all. Y'all welcome him as he's coming in. Hello,
What's up?
Jamar.
Thank you so much for having me. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you just fine. I can hear you just fine. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you good.
Perfect. All right. Well, welcome to Pitch Perfect Live. You're famous, bro. I love this.
I don't know about famous is the right
Well,
word.
listen, I did just a little bit of digging because
Okay.
everybody always has to fill out that application. But I
Yeah.
saw all the places that you've been speaking all over the US, which is awesome, and getting those testimonials. And I think that's fantastic. But I don't want to ruin it for everybody.
Okay.
Pitch Perfect Live. If this is your first time joining us, hi, we've got people coming in and joining. If this is your first time, welcome. And we bring in a brand new business leader every week and we work on their pitch. All right. So I've got 20 years of experience being on stages and also helping entrepreneurs for the past 8 years hone in and craft their pitch. Now, a lot of it is delivery, a lot of it is strategy. And we're going to do that right now. All right. So we have Jamar Root. He is an author. This is all I can say, y'all, because right now is open mic time. Now, Jamar, you are going to pitch your business, pitch your book. What I did see in your application is, oh, wait, I have to tell people the story of how I even came across you. All right. So my husband is an author, and he saw you on IG and how you are documenting how you are pitching to independent business bookstores and libraries, which I think is so super awesome and super brave. Um, I just have one question. What made you want to document it? I'm curious.
Yeah. So essentially, I first started with going to libraries, and I would like well, first I just wanted to get my book out there, and I had this
Okay.
first feeling of, did I want to go to a publisher, or did I want to do it independent? That's really where it started.
Okay.
And we'll probably get into it in a little bit about my book. I don't want to ruin the pitch or
Yeah, don't
anything.
ruin it.
I don't
Just
want to ruin the pitch. But
okay.
essentially, I have a unique idea with my book. And I pitched it to a publisher and I could feel it. And I was just like, you know what? I want to go independent with this thing. And I knew when I went independent,
Yeah.
I would have to think differently. I wouldn't
Yes.
be able to do something that all the other authors are doing if I want to have a chance. And really, when I finished my book, I really believed, like really deepest in my heart, that I,
Yeah.
I think I wrote one of the best books ever written. And I really believe that, and I think it's super
Yeah.
important for people to read it. And so I knew I had to think differently. And one of my favorite artists, his name is Nipsey Hussle. He
Mm.
talks about this one book that he read, which he basically explained his marketing perspective, and it's
Okay.
all about building word of mouth. And you got to do something a little bit different. And so this was
Absolutely.
my like definition of me doing something different, pitching to independent bookstores and libraries and
Yeah.
documenting the journey of me taking a bunch of L's
Okay.
and enjoying it. And I think more than just book sales, it inspires other people to go after what they want and
Hmm.
understand that each L is just a lesson and it gets you closer to the W.
I love it. I love it. All right. So I'm enjoying watching you document. This is kind of what I'm doing with Pitch Perfect Live. I'm
Yeah.
documenting in real time, coaching with entrepreneurs. And you're absolutely right. It's all about, what you learn out
Yeah.
of the process. And eventually you're going to get those wins. There's
Yeah.
no doubt about it. We're going to see if we can get you there faster though, right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
all right. So, Jamar, I'm going to let you take it away. What I love doing is kind of just role playing first.
Okay.
So you already you are pitching to independent bookstores. So let's pretend that
Okay.
I'm an independent bookstore owner and you walk in. What is it that you say? I'm going to be quiet. I'm just
Okay.
going to take
Let's
notes
do it.
and you go for it.
Okay. So I'm walking into the bookstore. Do, 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 do. Hello. How are you doing today?
I'm good.
That's good. Well, what's your name first off?
I'm Nikki.
Nikki, nice to meet you. I'm Jamar. Well, Nikki, I just came through because I'm actually touring around the country right now. I'm a speaker, and I try to go to different bookstores when I'm in town. I just want to see if y'all have any acquisitions, or is there a process for for any acquisitions to any new books into your bookstore?
Uh not at the moment.
Hmm.
Usually we just kind of go through
Yeah.
like another system. So not right now, no.
Well, Nikki, I understand that maybe right now isn't a good time, but what I like to do whenever I go into a bookstore, I like to at least give them my pitch, and kind of sell you on what my book is about. And then maybe if you
Okay.
have a process that allows for independent authors to get in, then maybe you'll know about it. So could I maybe give you my pitch really quick, not take up too much time?
Okay. I mean, I got
Okay.
customers, but okay, yeah.
Okay, I'll be quick. I'll be quick. Well, Nikki, my name is Jamar, and I brought my book with me. It's called Root of. I'm a 25-year-old. Actually, I just turned 26 a couple of days ago.
Oh,
Author, and I'm an inspirational speaker that speaks all across the country, helping students find their passion. And I recently wrote a self-help memoir about my life to help students find their passion and find success within it. And you'll actually recognize it's actually a blank cover. On this cover, all it says is Root of, which is the title. So, Nikki, this book wouldn't be just Root of Jamar, which is who I am as a memoir. But as you read it, it'd be Root of Nikki. So you can actually write on the cover as you learn everything you learn about yourself as you're reading this book. It's super cool. I think it has a word of mouth ability because of something different. It doesn't have a much stuff on the cover, makes you think, what if? And so if you're
okay.
ever thinking about bringing in something different that would attract a younger audience of people trying to figure out what they want to be when they grow up, I think this would be a good fit. But I really appreciate you for hearing me out today.
Okay. Thank you so much. It was nice meeting you, Jamar.
Nice meeting you too. Bye.
Okay.
All right, see.
Okay.
See.
And scene. I love it. Okay. Now, first of all, your delivery is exceptional. I knew that it would be
Hmm.
because I can tell you're a natural speaker.
Hmm.
So I knew you weren't gonna have any problem with delivery with that. Um, so I do have some questions for you though.
Okay.
I do have some questions. So the first thing that I kind of want to the first thing that I want to clear up
Okay.
is who's your target audience in this instance. In this instance, with
Yeah.
you selling with you getting the book to bookstores, who's your target audience?
Well, technically, right now, I guess it would be the owner of the bookstore.
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, what is their pain point right now? Like, what are their biggest concerns? What are their pain points?
Well, I think right now as an independent bookstore, they're worried about bringing in traffic that actually buys, and so I think, and this is something, and you're gonna talk me through it, I bet. But one of my advantages, and I've tried to do this on the back end of my conversations, but it's like showing how
Okay.
I can bring in that to their bookstore. So I think their big pain point
Okay.
is how is your offer then going to bring in value to me, as in people coming in the bookstore and actually buying something.
Yes. So my question is, why don't you lead with that?
That's a great question.
Yeah, because if you already know their pain point. You already know they're always worried about, listen, we got to get butts and seats, feet indoors, right? All the
Mhm.
things. So what do you think would happen if you led with that?
I think it would get them to be more open minded. And I think, and it's something I've been thinking about, but it's also a part of me
Okay.
that's like, how do I start off like that? Like, and I'm still learning my
Yeah.
pitch, and I'm getting better, and that's why
Yeah.
I'm here. But it's how do I start the conversation without sounding like I'm trying to like sell them on some like something crazy. I'm just trying to get my book in there and see what happens. And I do have strategies to maybe
Okay.
help them, but it just would be how do I
Okay.
start? Because it's been easier for me to just ask like, "Hey, do y'all bring in new books for independent authors?" It's been an easy starter, and it gets me in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then while it's the easy starter, you're losing them on that because you already know what it is you're supposed to lead with. So let's play around
Okay.
with that here. Let's lead in with the fact that, listen, I'm not going to sit here and try to sell you on my book. What
Hmm.
I really want to talk about is the logistics side, right? Because
Okay.
their whole thing is, and like what you gave me was the speaker pitch. We need
Hmm.
the vendor pitch.
Okay.
We need that vendor pitch. So, you're not interested in giving them a whole bunch of inventory. What you're interested in is bringing them foot traffic.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's kind of practice that. Let's see if you could get my attention with asking me a question about foot traffic.
Okay.
Maybe I think you asked, I saw one of your videos, you asked them about events that they hold, right?
Yeah, I think I asked them, "Do y'all hold any events
Okay.
for like independent authors or something like that?"
Yeah. And what did they say?
That's a good question. I
I,
think they
I
always.
believe they said that was like through some other, I believe it was like a library. And they said, well, that's through a different department. But we know
Oh,
independent bookstore owners, they that's what they have to do. That's part of like what they do. That's part of their business. So what if you led with that question?
I think that'd be better because I think it would allow me to first start the conversation. I think I'm really good in conversation once I'm in the door, and I can move it
Yeah.
around to wherever I need it to be.
Okay.
But I think that would at least
Okay.
it would signal the conversation into something that's about bringing them something, but also still like I'm an author though, so it doesn't allow me to be too outside of
Mhm.
my arena. I guess if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's see here. What if you ask them, um, what's been the best event that you had here this year?
That's a good question.
I'm just curious. What's the best event you've had here this year?
I think that's a good one.
They're gonna have something.
Hmm.
They're gonna have something
Hmm.
because you're already turning it in over to, listen, I'm not trying to sell you anything. I just want to know what's the best event that you've had here.
That's good.
And then they're going to already open up that conversation.
Hmm.
That's one.
Okay.
That's one option. You could also, instead of like a, because you said, can I at least, pitch your book, my book? You did do that, but instead of doing that, let's see, you could also ask what their recommendation is. So any person that you are potentially trying to sell to, right? They love being heard and they want to know what's in it for me.
Okay.
And so if you come to an independent bookstore owner and you say, listen, I'm an independent author. I'm just curious. Is there any advice that you have for independent authors like myself who want to host live events in bookstores? That's another
Okay.
way that you can get them to kind of open up. Another way you could do it is saying, doing that, asking that same question. I'm curious, what advice did you have? They give you that advice, and then you return back and say, you know what? That's so interesting because I am an independent author and I was thinking about this idea.
Mm.
So it's more of a collaborative conversation.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Yeah. And then saying, well, would you be open to it? I'll be in town, this next month. Would you be open to it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that gives me a lot
Yeah.
better chances. I like it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's the other thing that I thought about as well, as I was watching your IG videos, I saw you were kind of going in cold uh, as you were in that city.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things could be is that you start to build that relationship. This is obviously not necessarily the pitch part, but just start building that relationship on the outside.
Yeah, you are. I'm waiting on you. I can still hear you good though. No problem.
All right, there we go. All right, there we go. So one of the things you can do is kind of come in warm, follow
Yes.
follow the independent stores that you are interested in, and then there we go. Okay. And so one of the things that you can do is kind of warm it up on the like social media side, and then
Mhm.
kind of go in so they are familiar with at least, right? Okay. Um, I lost my train of thought. Hold on,
Okay.
let me think. Okay. So what I want to do is kind of see if we can build a different conversation
Okay.
as you're walking into this independent bookstore, and see if we can kind of build that out and then also include a different call to action. You said in one of your videos that you are a speaker
Mhm.
and that you were in town for a speaking engagement,
Mhm.
meaning you already have an audience that you can bring, to them. Okay. So I want to role play.
Okay.
Number one, just a different question or kind of a curiosity question that you can kind of lead with to see if you can get that bookstore owner to lean in.
Okay.
And then we'll work on a call to action after that. That's a little bit different than what you have. Is that fair?
That works for me.
Okay. All right. All right. So let's start this one over
Okay.
again. And I'm the busy bookstore owner. You're walking in. What would you say this time?
First, I'll be like, "Hello, how are you doing?"
I'm good.
Um, Good. Real quick, I just had a quick question as I was walking in. What has been the best author event you all have had this year? Just curious.
Ah, we had a chef that came in that did a whole demonstration. She had some little bites and she sold her cookbook. It was amazing. She brought in tons of people.
That sounds amazing. What do you think made it something that attracts so many people for that event? Was it, the kind of the fame of the chef, or was it the topic? What do you think brought in so many people to your bookstore?
Well, she had a lot of local buzz, and people. She's really famous around here. She's got a lot of local followers, and she also had those really nice bites. So that brought the
Yeah.
traffic in for sure.
That's
Yeah.
interesting. That's interesting because I was actually in town right now for my own speaking engagement. I'm actually from Dallas, but I was in town. And I actually do author events all across the country whenever I'm in towns and partner up with independent bookstores. And I would just love to know if
Mhm.
there's a process we could maybe go about to maybe brainstorm if I could be a fit. I actually brought in about 80,000 views on a video recently for an independent bookstore I did out in where was I? I was in Oakland, California, and I did a couple videos, and it brought in a bunch of traffic for the bookstores. I would love to see if we could be a fit, if something like what I bring to the table will work for you all's bookstore. What do you was that sound like for you? I'm doing some.
That was so
Okay,
good.
all right.
That was so good. And
All
you
right.
brought in receipts.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. Love it. I had a video that got 80,000 views and it brought in the traffic to the bookstore. Now I'm like, oh, really? 80,000 views brought in traffic. Now I want to know more.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and they're bookstore owners. Yes, they read and all the things, but their main focus is like, how do I get this inventory out? Right? How do I get people to buy these books and rotate this inventory? Right? So that question and that conversation,
Mm-hmm.
that was fantastic. Now, how did that feel to you?
Felt better. It felt a little bit more natural. And I think something I've been dealing with
Yeah.
on even on stage, not even just in pitching, is like I'm just out of this energy of trying to prove or need something. Like it's just like I know I'm dope. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I feel like that was more of like, yo, I am dope. Um, and how can we work together? Not, man, please can I get my book in your bookstore? Da da da. So I feel like it brought me on a different angle.
Exactly. Yeah, you are dope and you're bringing a solution to them, right? How many people come in and say, hey, can I sell my book? Is there a process to sell, get my book in your stores? How many times do they get pitched like that? But you, Jamar, walk in and say, listen, I have a solution for you to actually get people in your door. That's different. That gets them to lean in.
Mm.
That was fantastic. The only thing is, I would say, I can't remember if you said would you be open to it, but open is a much better word instead of like just leaving it closed ended, yes or no. So would you be open to possibly doing a collaboration? I'll be in town, in the next few months or whatever. Would you be open to a collaboration? And like see if they would say, yeah, I'd be open to that.
Mhm.
I'd definitely be open to that. But yeah, Jamar, you are so
Mhm.
dope. That's what I saw on your IG.
Mhm.
Like how dope you are. That's what I saw on your testimonials. How dope this guy is.
Mhm.
You have a story and you can hold the story until you get in that bookstore.
Yeah.
And you are showing them, hey, I brought the people that I said I was going to bring.
Hmm.
I brought the people that I said I was going to bring, right? So, and also that's another way. If you say, would you be open to it? And
Hmm.
they said yes, then you're like, awesome. I'm actually documenting this right now.
Hmm.
I have to tell people that I got my first yes, or that I got my second, or I got my 10th yes. Would you be open to just doing a quick video? I'll tell everybody where I am
Yep.
right now. And we just go live immediately. They're gonna be so much more open to the fact that this guy who just walked in here is putting our entire bookstore on blast to all his followers
Yeah.
that are now watching, his journey to all the
Mhm.
yeses. So you can also continue that call to action as well
Yeah,
with
that
that.
sounds awesome. You got me excited because I'm actually going to pitch tomorrow in Minneapolis.
Are
So
you
yeah.
in Minneapolis?
Hmm.
Nice. Oh, we get to test this out. This is
We
going to
get
be
to test this.
awesome.
Hmm.
All right. This is a whole documenting thing, guys.
Yeah.
I hope y'all are excited.
Mm.
I'm excited. Okay. Let's see. So the other thing that let's see, I some other notes that I have is maybe some different call to actions that you can just have in your arsenal.
Okay.
So we did talk about, do you have one where you could actually leave your book? or like a couple of books with them on like a consignment type situation?
Yeah, so I have done that. So I got my first consignment in Sacramento like 3 weeks ago. And so I always when I pull up, I always have a book on me, and I usually have like
Yes.
a good like 9 in my car just in case. Like if someone fall in love,
Yes.
they want to buy 5, let's go. And so I did
Yes.
do a no, actually, that was a straight out book deal. They bought books and that was it, and they're gonna just sell it on their own. But I have told them that I'm open to consignment, and I wish I had it with me right now. But I whenever I get
Yeah.
to different cities, I print out a one sheet. So even if they're like, so I have a one sheet that says like this is all this how many schools I've spoken at, the major brands that are working with
Good.
me, some bits about the book and testimonials. So at the very least, I always give them a testimonial, and they can like search me, email all that stuff.
Okay.
Mhm.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. We don't, I didn't see that in the video. So I was
Yeah,
like, let me ask him just to make sure, because that is another call to action that you can have. I'd love to leave 3 copies with you on a, whatever split that is. And, just test it out for 30 days, because that's the other thing. As I'm working with more and more authors, the independent bookstores, they're taking on a lot of risk if
they are.
if you just want them to hold your book. That is prime real estate on that shelf. And so giving them kind of a lower risk, you know hold it for 30 days or 90 days, 60 days, whatever. And then, here's the split. I don't want to, tell people what your split is or whatever, but just having that in your arsenal as well is wonderful, because again, you're coming with that solution. You're super dope. You're coming with the solution, and you're bringing down the defense
Yeah.
for, you know oh my gosh, this person wants me to carry all these books. This is going to cost me, right? So I'm so glad that you have that. How do you say it? I'm just curious.
In terms of
Like,
the
how do you say that specific call to action?
well, usually it naturally leans in when talking about
Okay.
different types of book deals, and I always just say like I'm open to consignment, not just one-off book deals. So make sure your risk make sure you're not taking too much risk on it, so you can see that it works, and I believe it'll work. But I understand if we want to do consignment, and both of us can kind of get to know each other and build a relationship, if that's something you're open to.
Okay. Okay. Let's switch it up just a little bit.
Okay.
I'd love to leave 3 copies here on a standard XYZ consignment. On a standard
Okay.
XYZ consignment. Um, if you're there to speak or whatever, you can say, I'll be here in the next whatever months, and I want to tell people to come to your store to buy it.
Hmm.
I want to
Yeah, that's good.
tell whoever I'm speaking to come to this store and buy the book.
That's good. Hmm.
Because now it's like, not only am I asking you to do a consignment, but I'm going to send the traffic to you.
Yeah.
How's that sound?
That's because that's actually what I'm trying to tell them is like, look, I'm this guy, not just trying
Yeah.
to like, nah, I got people behind me. I'm trying to like send to you.
Yes.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And so,
Yeah.
I think that's definitely
So
aligned.
okay,
Hmm.
tomorrow we're headed to Minneapolis.
Yeah,
Do you have a speaking engagement there too?
I kind of. So it's like 2.5 hours
Okay.
outside of there. It's in Wisconsin, but I'm still like there for
Gotcha.
the day, and then I'm gonna drive over there.
Okay. Okay. That's still great,
Yeah,
because you could say, I'm speaking at this location. I'm speaking here, but I'm telling everybody that the book
yeah.
you can buy the book at this location.
Hmm.
And then listen, I've got the agreement right here.
Yeah.
I've got 3 copies. I've got the agreement right here. You are going to be the bookstore that I'm going to tell people to come to.
Hmm.
And then, because then it gives them, again, you're just taking down their defense even more. You're taking down their option to say no.
Yeah.
And you're just keeping your foot on the gas.
Hmm.
Not too hard, but you're just taking down that defense even more. When you say like, I mean, I understand if you only want to do a consignment, it kind of leaves money on the table, meaning it's like, well, I understand this book might not perform.
Okay.
No, I'd love to leave 3 copies here at this bookstore on an XYZ consignment. I'll be speaking about 2 hours away from here, but what I'm going at XYZ place, right?
Mhm.
But I'm going to tell them to come here to buy the book.
Gotcha.
You see how much stronger that
It is.
is? How much, yeah. Because again, I'm dope. I am Jamar Root. I am dope.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually going to tell them to come to you to buy this book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
That makes sense.
Another one, because I know you were talking about hosting book signings.
Yeah.
Okay. How does that one go? Like, do you say anything different? Like, pitch me on a book signing. Pitch me on that one.
Well, I'm a pitch you on it. I usually do it naturally. It naturally comes
Okay.
up, and I try to mix it in. But I would say, if you're ever interested in having author book signings, I think I'd be someone interesting to come. I'm a 26-year-old author that wrote a memoir at 24 years old, so I think it would bring a new audience to your bookstore. And I've done speeches and Q&A sessions all across the country, at different colleges and institutions, high schools, middle schools. So I think it would be a great fit if you're ever open to it. I'm usually can get another gig if I need to when I tell my clients that I'm in certain areas. So just let me know.
Okay.
Mhm.
Let's make it more concise
Okay.
because we know we're talking to like busy bookstore
Yeah.
owners. They might have clients that they want to, talk to or direct or anything. So let's make that more concise.
Okay.
Very good. I mean, your delivery is excellent. If we make it more concise and clear, I think it will land better.
Okay.
So let's try. Hmm. Okay, let's try this. I see you host local events. Let's see. I'd love to do a book signing next month. I can bring 30 people in here.
Okay.
Um, who's the best person? Are you the best person to coordinate with that?
Point blank.
That's it. I can bring 30 people in here. Would you be the best person to coordinate with that?
Mm-hmm.
Because here's the thing. When you say I can bring 30 people in my, in my small bookstore, they're gonna be like, what?
Mm-hmm.
And that is when you say, oh yes, I've spoken at high schools. I've done this. I've done that. Right? But you want to hook them first with that simple, I can bring 30 people in here through my
Mm-hmm.
network.
Gotcha.
So let's try that. Of course, put it in your words, but let's try
Okay.
that.
Let me try
Okay.
to review what we said.
Okay.
I'm blanking. I'm blanking right now. I'm not gonna lie.
No problem. I can say it again. Okay.
Okay.
I see you. I see you host local events. I'd love to do a signing next month. I can bring 30 people in here with my network. Would you be the best person to coordinate with that?
Okay. All right. So I saw on y'all social media that you all host author book events. I would love to see if I could bring my own author event here next month. I think I can bring at least 30 people to your bookstore. Would you all be open to that?
Okay. So much better. Let's take out I think.
Okay.
Let's take out you said something else, but
Yeah.
definitely take out I think.
Mm-hmm.
I can bring 30 people in here. You also said I'd like to see if we can. I'd love to host a signing here at your bookstore. I'd love to.
Mm-hmm.
Because what you're saying is maybe you're kind of you want them to be as sure in you as you are in you. So let's try that again. I
Okay.
see you're hosting. I see you host local events at your bookstore. I'd love to host a book signing. I can bring 30 people in here
Gotcha.
with my network. Okay, so just very
Mm-hmm.
okay. Let's see.
I saw recently that you all are having author events at your bookstore. I would love to have an author event here. I know I could bring at least 30 people into your bookstore if we ever did an event. Would that be something you're open to?
Mm,
Hmm.
so good. So good. No ums, no uhs, no trying to remember, all the things
Yeah.
that you've done. I can bring at least 30 people in here. Okay, now you're talking my language. We're talking butts and seats. We are talking foot traffic. You are talking my language, and I love it.
Hmm.
How does that feel?
Feels good. Feels good. And I think it's not like it feels authentic. So feels good.
Yeah. You are a natural speaker.
Hmm.
So if you have the proper tools, you can mix and match and
Yeah, I can.
and take whatever you have in your arsenal and just fire away. Just fire away. And I will say, because you're a natural speaker, just beware of the speaker versus the vendor trap.
Okay.
So don't get trapped in speaker
Yeah.
mode. Stay in vendor mode.
Okay.
You're talking to the independent bookstore owner who's thinking about, how can I get more people in this store so I can sell more books?
Yeah.
The story will come later. How amazing your story is and the book is, that will come later.
Hmm.
Do you have a solution for me and my bookstore? You do. Now I'm open.
Gotcha.
Now I'm open.
Hmm.
Yeah. All right. Well, we literally have 30 seconds left.
Okay.
That went fast, didn't it?
It did.
Yeah. Okay. So, Jamar, tell me, how were you feeling before we started our session?
Hmm. I think my confidence has always been kind of up there with this, but at my skill level with it has kind of been like at a 5 out of 10 because I'm just going in there like, cold turkey. I don't really know. I'm just trying my best. I think I have much more of like a polish. I put myself at an 8 out of 10 now. And then I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna rewatch this and then I'm gonna know when to plug and play everything and eventually get to like a 9 and 10. So I feel like I went up 3 points on the scale today. Mhm.
Hey, we love it. 3 points in 30 minutes. Y'all listen.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's really about having a great strategy. Oh, look at my timer going off. Um, all right, stop timer. All right. But it's about having that strategy as you're walking in there. You being not just selling a book, but being a solution
Mhm.
for that bookstore owner and helping them see that. That's how you'll stand out above everybody else that's walking in with their book, wanting to get it on the shelf.
Gotcha.
Okay, so we're seeing. I'm saying that's it right there. That's awesome, Jamar.
Thank
Someone
y'all.
says you're getting hearts. You're getting 100. So that's thanks everybody who is watching. Okay. The last thing that I'm going to ask you to do, Jamar, because every time I have a business leader on as a guest, we got to give you space so that you can tell everybody where to find you. So
Oh,
take
okay.
it away, Jamar.
Yeah, so you can find me at my website, Root of Jamar. That's my whole personal brand. And that's the same thing on my Instagram, Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it. YouTube, everything is Root of Jamar, rootofjamar.com. And then to buy my book is shop.rootofjamar.com. So everything is just Root of Jamar. You can find everything with Root of ROOTOFJAMAR. And my book is literally just Root of without the Jamar. So you can fill it in yourself. So thank you so much for having me. Y'all check me out. I literally document all my pitching. So if y'all want to see if I got better, come follow me. I will say the videos coming out in the next month were pre-recorded. So don't be like, Jamar, you won't listen. No, I was listening. You say it came out yet. All right.
Okay, yes, we will. Yes, everybody, don't judge him too harshly just yet.
Uh-huh.
Let him cook. Let him cook.
Yeah.
He's cooking. But thank you so much, Jamar. Listen, y'all, if you are watching this Pitch Perfect Live right now and you want to be in the hot seat next time, just go to my website, nickywillis.com, and that's NICCIWILLIS. Click on the Pitch Perfect Live button. You'll fill out that application, and you just might be next. All right, y'all. Have a wonderful week. Jamar, you were exceptional. Exceptional. Listen, I'm excited because I know that one day I will see you like on the big screen and I'll be like, I know that guy. You're super dope. So guys, make sure you go check out his website, buy his book, all the things. All right, Jamar, thanks so much.
Thank you
Bye,
for having
everybody.
me.
Have a wonderful week.
Bye.
Take care.